Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. Today's question was suggested by a viewer, thanks to Graham for this one. Amy plays a Rabble Rousing while she controls Elesh Norn. What happens during her next combat given that she attacks with the appropriate number of creatures? Okay, so in order to answer this question, we'll go through part by part. So, of course, the hideaway ability does indeed trigger when a permanent enters the battlefield. So that would mean that the Elesh Norn will make it trigger an additional time. So Amy will be able to hide away 5, and then after that, she'll hide away 5 a second time. So there will be 2 cards that end up being exiled with the Rabble Rousing. Now, we have the triggered ability from Rabble Rousing that triggers when you attack, and it's not immediately clear how this would work with having multiple cards that were exiled with it. Fortunately, the comprehensive rules have our back in this case. Because both of the cards that we exiled with each instance of the hideaway trigger will be considered to be exiled with that trigger, then that means that each of them is considered to be the exiled card as far as the Rabble Rousing is concerned when it comes time to cast. So that means that Amy would get to cast both of her spells. Because she's the one casting them, she can cast in any order that she wants. However, there is a couple of limitations to this. First of all, let's notice that it says to play the cards. So, for example, if you had a land exiled, then it would be perfectly a-okay to be able to play that land. However, if you had 2 lands that were exiled, it would not be possible to play both of them. In ordinary circumstances, you only have 1 land play on your turn. And so unless something was giving you a second land play, it would not be possible for you to play a second land. In a similar vein, if there was something out that said you could only cast spells anytime you could play a sorcery, well, that would mean that you would not be able to cast any spells off this hideaway. That's because you could cast a sorcery if, for example, it was hidden away. However, the game rules specifically define that anytime you could cast a sorcery means during your main phase with the stack empty. Of course, that's not going to be the case during the resolution of this hideaway trigger, so that would mean that it would not be possible to cast spells even though the hideaway triggered ability is letting you do so. I made a whole video where I talked a lot about exactly how effects like this work, and so I'd recommend that you could check that out if you're interested in seeing some more examples. But that's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again next time for another daily ruling, but until then, I hope you have a great day.